The goal, what I hopefully can transmit today and give you some information around, is really what we did the last 4 years, our learnings, and answer some very, very crucial, critical questions. Mainly, everyone talks about billion-dollar industry. Where's the money coming from? Where's the revenue? Why do you invest hundreds of millions of dollars and euros into esports? So, a beautiful clickbait title. Entertainment is that, long live entertainment. What do we mean with this? We're talking about this in the end, the Coliseum, old school entertainment. I had a similar presentation in 4C at Kiev, and I showed this picture because I believe it's a very good description resembling what we're facing, we're talking right now. What does it mean? Do we talk about sports? Do we talk about entertainment? Controlling the masses? Maybe we're getting closer, not that drastically or crazy, but what happened in these times, thousands of years, it was thousands of years ago, it was really to engage people in the same way we do it today. This were the time where people looked for certain, if it was entertainment, if it was a way of engaging. There's no big difference between what happened there and now. As you can see, entertainment is that. Long live entertainment. This is the next generation, the next wave. The same picture happens. This is not World of Tanks. Some of you know already. This is a very successful game out there. One right now leading as well in the esports world. I see the smiles already. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. Been there as well. As it's a small industry right now still. It's a small momentum, so we share a lot, we talk a lot, we learn a lot from each other as well. But I want to show you this specific picture building on the first one. What we're seeing now, the next generation is heading to the new ways of content and entertainment. And this, in the end, mind my words, will be the source of when we talk about revenue, about money generation. It's not direct ticket sales, so direct revenue. We talk about something completely different here. For this, I need to give you a little evolution trip. Where do we come from? And entertainment and trust, these things go hand in hand by human nature. Yes, first we had the written word, the book. First was word, and then the written, the books, the religions, and people look for, hey, where do I connect myself? Where do I get my trust from? The next natural step, so if you go like word, then the written word, then there was a long break again, then we get to the digital age suddenly, more or less, getting the first ones then. We had the radios coming in, then the TV, then the digital, really the computer world, internet, and it gets faster and faster. So we're going through an evolutionary process right now, which we never have seen before in ever. The beat's getting faster and faster. The beats of how people engage and digest entertainment and how they get their trust channels from is changing as we speak. This is something, as we say, sorry for that. The technology is king. I will talk about it in a second. Anyone here in this room makes sense out of this picture? Good. I had the same reaction when I looked at it the first time with our designers and said, okay, why do we choose this picture with this presentation? I will just tell you guys, you saw one before here, how the evolution is changing, how the word, the medium is changing, and where people get trust from. These days, we're looking the first time in a complete different world. Everything is connected. We don't have like just one medium, we just have like one channel. This is a big merge. I'm Generation Y, 1980 born, now 36, 7 this year. I digest content completely different than now the millennials onwards, how they trust, who they look to into, who they engage with. Today, if you post anything, anywhere, your whole network knows about it. Your friends trust you. If it's word of mouth, it's influencing. It's changing. The world is merging as we speak. And this is important for us to understand. Where do we fit in? Because in the end, when I talk now to our CFO, just 3 months ago, as he asked Mo, another year, 10+ million investment, where is the ROI? Where is the return of investment for us? And there's something I want to make very clear. it is, in the end, acquisition. Yes, we will create an esports world. We will talk to next millennials, next generations. We need to feed them kind of content which is meaningful to them, so they trust and engage. But the core center for any company, not only now for Wargaming or Riot or Valve, is acquisition. Why should you be in esports? Why should you engage those channels? It's because we have now the latest BI reports working with Google. We can see that Generation Y, millennials, Generation Next, the alphas, they don't trust in common channels anymore. TV is dying. It sounds hard, but it's dying. With this, our marketing channels are getting less and less effective. So no matter if you like esports, no matter what you think of it overall, as a company, it's crucial that you're going to be on these channels to reach the next generation. Naturally, what kind of content is digested on those channels? It doesn't work if you just put a placement there. Here, click here and come to us. It doesn't work with these generations anymore. The next generation, they live a culture, a lifestyle. You need to speak to them in a tone they understand. So you have to be very natural. This picture I wanted to show on purpose because when I talk to a lot of pros in the industry, and they say, yeah, it's the last 5 years, 10 years, Riot pushed esports. No, esports started in the year where I was born, more or less. That was the first bigger events happening for, you can see, a very young generation, funny, the geeks, the kids who live in the cellar, but this is where it started already. And if you look back to understand, okay, why do this generation start to engage with this kind of fun game, geek entertainment? At this time, everyone was laughing about it. Even my parents remember when I grew up with my Commodore Atari, and they said, yes, it's better that he plays this than going out and stealing cars. As majority here probably heard these same things. But it's in essence just to understand generation marketing starts here. To look at it, to understand it, what it means for us. Naturally, the next steps went faster and faster, as described before. The heartbeats of evolution, of disruptive technology, which drives this generation engagement faster and faster, is at an unseen pace right now. Technology is king, content is queen. Beautiful. The king itself is nothing. It means nothing. It's just a medium. The content creates the culture, creates the trust, creates the channels to speak to the people, to the next generations. Netflix. Now everyone talks about AR, VR. Some say it's great, others say it's maybe not so great. I personally believe heavily in AR more than VR, because as you connect these days, you don't want to disconnect yourself heavily from your surrounding. My wife and kids would kill me if I would do this. So AR is better. I can still see my little baby throwing up, and I see a little thing running over her in AR. So here we see something, this is right now a bridge between generations. Passive digesting of content, which is Netflix trying now really heavily to manipulate, to adapt with a lot of data they get from the users to create content which is meaningful for the users, but it's still the same way. It's still the passive digesting which is dying. The new millennials, Generation Y even, we are used to a next level of engagement. We are used to have a hobby which turns into our life and culture on a day-to-day basis. We're engaging through it if we play it, if you watch it, if you talk with your friends about it. And there is a very, very big difference as well for us to understand sports and esports. Yes, for me, we try to label esports as sports so we understand it. If I tell my mother, hey, mom, I get paid to build esports, which is sports, because she would say, what do you mean, you play computer games? No, it's like sports, just a next layer. So we need some connections so we understand what we're talking about, so we understand the generations in front of us, okay, what is really sports here, what is esports? But the big difference, sports, you're 20 years old, you play football, you love it. Then you get 24, 25, 26, you get family, stop studying. You're not Ronaldo, you're not a superstar, you have to be honest, you can't keep up with this. But you still watch it, nice. Esports and entertainment in this level, I played when I was 20, I love it, it's my chocolate piece. I'm 30 and I still have like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour a day. I can still play the same way I played before. Maybe a different game, maybe a different pace, but the game is the same. And this is a very big change between normal sports in the past and esports. Esports has no limitation. It has no boundaries. It doesn't limit you to a physical appearance. Yes, there are games where you need APM, actions per minute, very high level. If it's Counter-Strike, and not much, StarCraft is very famous for this. When you look Korean LoL players, when they do moves in 1 second where, I never forget this one where Faker did this crazy Z move, and I was okay, he just pushed 4 buttons at the same time. For me, I just realized an enemy is coming. So you can see the perception and the execution commands is still important for certain games. But then I look at World of Tanks. World of Tanks is different. World of Tanks is a strategy game. We're suddenly reaching out an audience which is 26 years old plus. We have a different segmentation group. These guys are gamers, but they are not fast. They're not like tactical. They're strategists. And now this one is very important to understand. We all fit into this world. Each game has a place, but we have to understand that we need to adapt our tone, our positioning to the needs of the next generation. Passive digesting is dying. My parents and I grew up watching TV at home like a zombie. Then there was a time when you can call in to vote for a movie. I remember in Germany, it was amazing in the 80s that you can decide if you vote for Batman or something else, the first one. But this is over. If I look now at my kids and my youngest brother, they're used to chat with their influencers. They make decisions. They engage through certain tools, technologies that influence the gameplay they see. So passive digesting is out. The active digesting becomes a part of the culture. They play the game I play, and I even tell them my feedback, and they respond to me individually. So this is very crucial and very important to understand for everyone who builds a game, who wants to be in the entertainment field tomorrow. You need to conquer this piece. You need to create content which is engaging for the audience. Not to create eSports, but to get the audience in the first place. 62% of people under 32 by 2025 will not use pay TV. And this is very important. As you know now, Netflix, HBO moves very heavily in this pay TV approach. In 8 years, 62% of under 32 will not use it. These are the data right now we are seeing, and we're seeing as well behavior-wise, it's confirming. This is now specific, knowing this knowledge, we try now to adapt how can we turn our game into an esports game. Yes, we have a very big esports audience. We have 600,000 people watching throughout the season our esports, but we started very low as well, very small. But important for us is, yes, you need first to have a car to reach the point B. We see the future, we need to be this for our games, for all of us. We need to be on these channels. To get there, we need a car. The car is this esports tool right now, create this culture. Now, just recently, we had some very crazy breakthroughs. I don't know if you know what's PRMP, CRM, the usual topics. Now imagine with new technology development, with SDKs we just tried now out, we can put in each stream an individual message. Each one of you will have a completely different experience of the same stream. So we talk about the active digesting. I know you're playing a tier 4 tank, example-wise, a German one. Now suddenly you get information here which are meaningful to you. We connect their play, their tank, their map maybe, to your behavior. You get a completely different message from us, different pop-ups, different. So we can connect the first time, really completely individual to your behavior, not to your digesting behavior, to your active playing behavior, content you see from superstars. And this is just the beginning. We're getting more and more into these fields. Yes, there is this short-term direct revenue part happening as well, because suddenly I tell you exactly what you love, and you can buy it here with some savings, but this is just a crumbs to keep some certain CFO off the back, so they let you be, hey, okay, there's some money coming in. Yeah, okay, we're fine, we're good. But what we're really doing here is building a culture, building a lifestyle, and building the bridge for the audience of today and tomorrow. This is something now we can see what we did lately, some insight how we changed as well over the years. Our last event was in Warsaw, Poland, our grand finals, like it's the world's for World of Tanks. We have a different audience, as I said. In our groups, we have like family fathers, mothers, baby buggies. We have play areas for kids. Really, because families come with their kids, because have a different segmentation than like CS or LOL. But we have to adapt. We have to offer the parents, hey, you can drop off your kid. It sounds horrible. The ladies had some areas where you get them the nails done. It became a lifestyle piece of what was meaningful, and I was surprised it was very, very successful. We had in 2 days 18,500 visitors on site because we didn't went to its one-time event. Like in the evening, 2 hours does not work for our audience. They're family fathers, they're family mothers, they're like working people. We had to make it over a 2 days, 3 days event so people come when they want, join, enjoy a bit, go again, come back. So we had to really make it like adapting to the audience needs. Unique people, we had 18,500, and online views worldwide was, it's very funny, from 800 to 5 million. What does it mean? We had some streams with 800 people only. In certain regions, we re-streamed. If it like, say, somewhere in Romania, because we give clean feeds to the audience who can do it. Globally, in total, we had over 5 million views, including China. So now this is something interesting and something good and bad for us. How many minutes do we have left? 3. Okay. Our growth, how we grew on hours watched. And you can see, especially when you look at the split of the regions, you could see our learnings and our mistakes. In the beginning, we were very, very strong in NA when we came out, because it was the first thing, it was a big wave. Everyone talked about eSports. NA is a dominating market with eSports. So naturally, we had a very strong takeoff there. Then it looked like we dropped heavily in NA, but it's not actually the case. The other regions just grew more because we adapted then to the needs to our audience. The biggest audience we have is in CIS, is in Europe, East Europe. So we changed our content, our behavior, so it fits these audiences in these regions. We went away from the American style and went more to, let's say, cold Russian blood style. It worked quite well. But naturally, we want NA to grow. We want NA and APAC to grow for us as well, for tomorrow. Based on this, we just had our latest event in New York now. So we changed our tone. This is just a few seconds trailer. And you can see we tried to turn more into a tone which is meaningful for the American audience. So, okay, thank you. You see, it was very short, different tone completely. We could see an increase of 22% of engagement with the American market right away. Now we had as well a Super Bowl advertisement, as you know, because we understand, okay, we have to be different to conquer certain markets. The last slide, as my time is running out, this is our overall learning for the competitive gaming team. This is something we have on our wall in Cyprus, in HQ, which will remind us, and this is important, I have to explain to you some things. Build a bridge to the player's heart. So this is, for us, every day we come in, we see those messages. We have to build a bridge. Okay, why? I told you. Generation marketing of tomorrow, acquisition channels. How do we get there? Look around. Because we did things in the past which didn't work clearly, but we did them because we thought so. Then we step back and look what our friends are doing, what next generation are doing, what people around us doing. We understand, hey, we're walking in the wrong direction. Very important. And we have to every day tell ourselves, don't be afraid, don't copy, move your own way. We copied LOL, we copied CS as well. We copied a lot of the eSports and eSports. Now we're getting to a point where we feel very confident that, hey, we are our own style, we are strategy style. We're talking to a generation which is older, but they grew up with these new channels, so we have to adapt. It's very tempting to copy. It's good in the beginning to have the same tone, to get the same DNA into it, to understanding, but then you can, and you should develop. Destroy traditional thinking, very important. I fight with marketing, PR, community on a day-to-day basis. Guys, the old ways are dying. Just forget about it. Important, don't burn your candle. What I mean with this, everyone looks just on eSports right now, and we did as well for many years. eSports is this. Now we understand generation marketing is behind it. We lose the audience of tomorrow if we don't talk to them in the right channels, not only for one product, for all our products, all game in the whole industry. So if you just focus on esports and make it a little esports product just for one game, which is bound to a lifetime cycle, not create an ecosystem which foster a culture, you lose. You lose money and you burn yourself for tomorrow. And most important, this is our bread and butter, we have always to think, how can we build this car to get there? And this is our core message. Deepen our player's experience with our product. It's all about this. If we deepen the experience, if we give them the feeling of personal progression and deepen the experience, they will drive us. They will create this car for us, which allow us then to be on those channels, to reach the next generations, to reach the generation Y, alpha onwards, and be meaningful in a lifestyle and culture which they create and they like to digest. So, this is from my side, very brief, 20 minutes, trying to press in 5 years and tens of millions of dollars of experience. I'm open for questions right now. Thank you, first of all, and don't hesitate.
Hi, great presentation, thank you. I have a question. You said that like people in 8 years won't be paying for entertainment the same way that we do now, right? Like paid content like Netflix and so forth. How does that compare to a generation that gets more and more critical towards traditional advertising as well? So we don't want to be advertised to, we don't want to engage with the ads in that way, so we have to be really like creative in personalized ads, right?
This is what you just rephrase exactly the core message. After 4 years of experience, we understand this is the case for the generations our age onwards. We have ad blocker on our computers. We don't want to see ads. We don't want to engage. We skip them. So what we have to create as an industry is a culture that we can show our product in a way which is meaningful for the audience, which is this culture, this lifestyle, so we can sell ourselves, we can sell the image we want us to be. We want to be a gaming company. We need to speak to the next generation in a tone and voice so they listen to us. Like in the beginning, say the stadium, the Colosseum, we had to offer the audience, the generations, what they used trust in and want to see. For this, marketing will and have to change because it will just become less and less effective if we just go with AdWords, ad performance, the usual things we did in the past. They will not work today and less tomorrow. The good thing is, time is working for us. The bad thing is, there will be a harsh selection, like natural selection happening. For companies who understand it and are willing to make the next jump to see, in the end, they should just look at Google data, look at Google, YouTube, all data, and the segmentations of the users they have, it gives a very clear indication what's happening. And if you look and ask your marketing guys, hey marketers, can you please tell me your ad performance, how did it work over the last 10 years, the same channels you had? How much did you have to change? And you will see as well. You just have to understand, it's our fault. We sold it esports as a community thing, passion, yeah. But if you go cold-blooded, business-wise on it, you understand there is an evolution happening right now, how people digest, and most important, trust. It's not the technology, it's the content. You have to change the tone. Your boss will see it in, I would say, 5 to 10 years latest, and I hope he will see it before that.
All right, thank you, Mo, for that, for your presentation, for answering the question.